Hey, what's going on, guys? Mike here from Arizona, just doing an update video on this DIY background that I started last week for my bearded dragon. We already discussed that we're not going with grass, unfortunately. I mean, I think this looks amazing with grass, but he tried to eat it. I cannot take the chance of him getting these fake pieces of grass down his throat because, God forbid, something does happen. I would feel terrible that the thing I created killed the dragon. Now, however, everything on here, on this background, is completely safe. After doing tons of research, I did lots of research. I did not want to create something that was not going to work for the dragon. Now, I will do a DIY video on this, but I'll tell you exactly what I used so you guys can kind of toy with the idea of doing this if you wanted to do this, especially for a reptile. For a fish tank, it's a little bit different. But you start with styrofoam, then you cut out some pieces to make them look like rocks. I actually noticed that that one right there looks like a boot. But you can make them look as realistic as you want. Maybe you don't want to do realistic. Maybe you want to make like a Punisher face. I thought that might be cool too, but I kind of just wanted to stay with the realistic theme in this tank. But you can do all that. Let's come a little closer to it. And you can actually see here. So when you have your styrofoam, as you can see from my last video, it just looks like styrofoam. And once you get the shapes that you're looking for and the placement you're looking for, what you're going to do is you're going to hot glue all of these pieces to the back part of the styrofoam. So then it looks like you kind of have rocks coming out of, you know, like a rock wall, right? So that's going to be key, is giving the right placement. Once you do that, you have to paint this with grout. And grout, it's the best one to get is the non-sanded grout at Home Depot. They have gray, they have brown, they have white. I would say stay with gray or brown because obviously you can see you can get the most realistic look with gray or brown. I went with gray and then I covered it, or I highlighted it with brown acrylic paint, and then I have white highlights with white acrylic paint over it. And then what we're going to seal it with is something called Mod Podge. And Mod Podge is used for a lot of different projects. Well, let me actually get it. I actually have it with me. I'll show you right here. This one right here. Mod Podge Matte Finish. Now I got 64 ounces because I think I'm going to do a lot more projects with that stuff, being that this came out so good. So I'm going to actually make more backgrounds and just try to get better at this as we go along. So the Mod Podge is what seals it. Now, from what I understand from the research that I've done, the Mod Podge itself is not really meant for humid environments, so I wouldn't necessarily use that as a sealer in like a gecko cage or something that needs humidity. But for a bearded dragon, this would work perfectly fine because the humidity is relatively low in the bearded dragon tank. So that, I think, is good to know. And from what I understand, to make this thing waterproof for like a fish tank, you actually would want to take GE Silicone 1 and douse it all over this and paint every inch of this so it seals in all of the stuff from getting in and leaching into the water. Now again, there may be other epoxies and things to use, but that's where I've gotten so far as my research for a fish tank. I don't think I'm creating this for a fish tank anytime soon. I just don't feel comfortable with it yet. But I will be doing more research, but I definitely will be doing a DIY video on this particular build that I did. What we're going to do again is we're going to replace this grass with tile and possibly a sand color tile. So hopefully if I go to Home Depot today, I'm able to find something that I like, that's kind of textured, that kind of looks like sand. Now, I really like this grass look, but again, I just can't take that chance of doing that. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope you guys enjoyed the update. Please comment, like, and subscribe. Please don't hesitate to visit www.greenoasisfarms.com for any of your plant and betta fish needs. I'll talk to you later.